Sometimes, no matter how well we look after ourselves, illness can strike out of the blue. In Cornwall, 20-year-old Lily was a carefree student whose only worry was finishing her degree.
I was speaking to my best friend just at home. I just got back to uni for second year.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I found myself slurring my words. And I think I was just talking about the holidays and like happy memories. And then she was like, "Why can't you smile?" I was like, "I don't know."
Lily was diagnosed with Bell's palsy, which causes partial or full paralysis of the face.
Cheers, Lily.
Cheers.
Probably in our teeth now. Don't smile.
I can't. It's been really hard.
Yeah.
Because I'm only, 20 years old. I see all my friends going out, and I still go out with them, but it's not as easy. And I'd like to think that I do cope with it well, and that I can still do everything exactly the same as I used to. But it's always there in the back of my mind. When I meet new people, I can see them noticing it.
Bell's palsy affects 1 in 5,000 people. Doctors believe it's caused by a virus which finds its way into the facial nerve. The virus causes inflammation which can lead to paralysis of the face. Most people with Bell's palsy make a complete recovery, but it can take anywhere from a couple of weeks to many months. For some, the condition lasts their whole life. Lily tried steroid treatment but without success, so doctors suggested she waits to see if her condition goes away of its own accord. But over the past year, she has developed a worrying complication. Her eye.
Because it doesn't close completely, it gets really irritated throughout the day. And some days it'll be fine, and sometimes it'll be like ridiculously unbearable, to the point where I have to go to bed.
Because when you can't lubricate the surface and shut the eye, it like feels like shards of glass and stuff in your eye, doesn't it? It's
it's
really
horrible.
Quite unbearable.
I used to have really good eyes, and now when I close my left eye, I can barely see anything out of my right eye. It's very fuzzy.
Lily was referred to an eye specialist, but the appointment never came through. From my own experience, I know she has to do something.
I had a similar problem where, because my eyelids are scarred and they don't shut, so they were talking about putting like a weight inside the eyelid that can just make the eye, like manipulate it to shut. But yeah, I mean, an ophthalmologist would be a good thing for you to be regularly seeing.
Sight loss is more common than you might think. 360,000 Brits are blind or partially sighted. Half of these cases could be prevented if caught and treated early. But despite sight being the British public's most valued sense, a third of us don't have regular eye tests. I can't believe Lily's been living with this condition for a year. I really want her to get her eye looked at urgently. She's studying in Cardiff, so she's going to see an eye specialist at the University Hospital of Wales.
Hi, Lily.
Hi,
Dan
nice
Morris.
to meet you. Thank you.
Come and have a seat. I'm one of the eye surgeons, all right. Nice to meet you.
You too.
So let's have a look at your eyes. If you could just very gently close your eye for me, and you can see, you can probably feel that your eye's open. The other problem, of course, is that we can see that when you're blinking, that your left eye blinks nicely, but your right eye just doesn't. So I'm just going to have a look at your eyes with this machine. This shows me how damaged the front of your eye is. Lily's Bell's palsy is significant. She has a very poorly closing eye, and therefore we need to do something about it. I can see there your eye's really dry. It's really important to be able to close your eye. If you can't close your eye will dry out and essentially become ulcerated and you'll go blind.
If I had known the urgency of the situation, I probably would have been more inclined to seek help, and then it could have been sorted out rather than a year down the line when my sight could have potentially been damaged.
Lily's now scheduled for some highly specialised surgery. A platinum weight will be inserted into her upper eyelid, so she'll be able to blink and close her eye again.
I'm pretty nervous about having surgery, but I feel like this is probably the first step towards actually getting better and recovering from this.
In Cardiff, 20-year-old Lily is now facing the reality of an eye which won't close and is embarking on specialised surgery. Surgeons plan to insert a small weight into her upper eyelid to enable her to close her eye.
Hi, Lily.
Hiya.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm just going to put a little mark on top of your head there.
It'll all be done under general anaesthetic, so she won't be aware of a thing. 2 muscles enable us to blink. The orbicularis muscle around the eye contracts and closes it, and the levator muscle relaxes, so we can open it again. In Lily's case, the Bell's palsy has paralysed the orbicularis, so she can't blink or keep her eye closed.
So I'm just going to make the main incision now along the eyelid. So this is the platinum weight we're going to put into Lily's eyelid. It's fairly thin, which means it won't be too bulky within her eyelid, and quite flat. And you'll see it's curved to the shape of the lid.
Mr. Morris stitches the platinum plate to the most solid part of the eye, the cartilage, to keep it in place.
Okay, so that's the weight in place, the skin closed, and you can see that the eyelid doesn't really look much bulkier than it did, and it's nicely, neatly in place, and hopefully that'll make a big difference for Lily and the closure of her eye.
Finally, he tightens the skin on the bottom eyelid, which has drooped due to the Bell's palsy. I'll be catching up with Lily in a few weeks' time, and I hope the treatment is a success. There's no shame in asking for medical help, but we often don't, because we lack confidence or feel our problems are not serious enough to warrant medical attention. 21-year-old Lily suffers from Bell's palsy and was in desperate need of eye surgery. Today, Lily's catching up with family, and I'm joining them. It's the first time they've seen Lily since her operation a week ago.
Oh, darling, I love you so much. It makes me really happy. Well, of course it's going to make me really happy, because it makes her happy. I think Lily looks so much more confident now. I've seen her in just the most darkest of times, and I think she's come out of that and is just exuding happiness and confidence.
That looks so much better. Yeah, it's incredible.
It's quite a drastic difference.
Really good.
I'm the proudest dad in the world. Lily is such a beautiful girl, and it's such an awful thing to happen to her. But now, I think things are only going to get better.
And how's it close?
Let's see.
That's brilliant. Look.
Oh, fantastic! You'll be doing that. She'll be doing that all the time now.
Yeah, that's really so significant.
I really think I should have gone and had it done earlier, because it would have cut out that whole year of being in pain and discomfort.
So here's to Lily.
Yay!